Hey, I'm Broken Finn. You could just call me Finn. I apologize in advance for the inconsistent volume of dialogue. I'm still learning how to work with my new microphone. This is part 4. If you need to catch up, check out the links in the description. If you are caught up, then sit back and relax and watch Talon resolve the rest of Firecat Alley's troubles. You once again return to the witch. That's not a witch. Aha! You made it past Pastilla's incessant whining. I could hear it from here. You must have captured her whale. I wonder why she came back here when she was doing so well in Dark Cave.
I think she wanted revenge and the perfect performance. After Dark Cave's seal broke, everyone's been spilling out of there.
And you said that the fire elves pried the gate open?
That's what Private Quinn told me, yes.
Why would the elves do that? They must have been cursed, which means Bastilla escaped before Firecat Alley's seal was broken. The only other gate is in Cyclops Lane, but who would open that one? You rub your chin. Well, I had a terrible feeling about Malastare. If anyone could do it, it would be him.
Who's Malastare?
Who's Malastare? Greta mimics. You must be a brand new student. He was the death teacher.
Is that why a student is teaching the death school?
Yes, he abandoned his students. She shakes her head and waves her broom around. I knew he would cause more trouble. I warned everyone. There has always been a darkness behind him. I've never trusted Malastare or his brother. I looked into his future and saw anger, loss, chaos, and the destruction of the death school. Rattlebones mentioned a dark master before. You wonder if this Malastare could be his dark master.
Why didn't you tell anyone?
I did! Haven't you heard of me? Professor Greta Darkkettle? You shake your head. You would know if there was a crazy alchemy teacher. I can't believe this! Merle erased my name! I warned him! I told him to fire Malastare Drake before he did anything drastic! But did he listen? I kept pushing for it, but he fired me instead! Me! She presses her long nails into her chest.
I thought you were fired for turning a student into a humongo frog.
Who told you that? Great. I'm known for being the crazy witch on the street who turned a student into a slimy amphibian. She strokes the bristles of her broom. I loved Ravenwood. I was trying to protect our school. I even confided in Bartleby. He said I shouldn't punish others for unfulfilled crimes, but now it's happened. All these problems could have been prevented if Merle listened to me. Bartleby forbid Ambrose have my back.
I know you're upset, but we still need to turn Bastilla's whale into a cure.
All right. I'm no longer privy to all my equipment I once had in Ravenwood. Gloria Crendel was storing a few things for me. She was an old friend of mine. Here's a list of items to get from her in Old Town. She hands you a small scroll. Just, don't mention my name. I'm here in secret. She'd tell everyone if she knew. You go to Sergeant Muldoon for directions to Gloria Crendel's house.
How was Firecat Alley?
He asks, his forehead sweaty.
The guards are all very busy keeping skeletal warriors from leaving Dark Cave, and haunted minions and fire elves from entering here. Ugh, I need my men's help in Trident Avenue and Cyclops Lane as well. If only we could get all those enemies to stand down in Firecat Alley. Are you still working on that? Yes, I'm getting a cure for the Fire Elves' curse as we speak. I need to get the ingredients from Gloria Crendel. Do you know where she lives? Yes, she lives just across from the bazaar.
You stroll over and rap on her door. She lets you in.
Why, hello there. I don't get visitors often. Are you one of my granddaughter's friends?
Gloria has knitting needles in her gray bun and an apron with a life symbol intricately embroidered on the front pocket. She has a ball of yarn spilling out of said pocket. Her house is small and cozy. Her coffee table has knitted life school doilies. She has a robot butler balancing on one wheel, holding a pot of tea.
No, I'm actually here because I'd like to learn how to make potions and try alchemy. I heard you have some equipment.
She turns back and smirks, as if she knows something.
You'd like to borrow some alchemy equipment? I suppose that's all right. Follow me to my pantry.
She shuffles down the hall, her cane clicking with her. The hallway is full of what you assume to be Gloria's family. Unsurprisingly, the framed portrait of the grandkid is a life wizard. There are photos of Gloria and 2 other women on the wall. A younger Greta Darkkettle with jet black hair reaching her hips is with Gloria. She has a candle in her hand. You assume it's her wand. The other person with them is a smaller, younger woman in a flower crown of daisies. She's wearing Gloria's apron with the stitched-on life symbol. You hear a clunk. Gloria pulled out a large box.
Do you have a list?
You hand her the paper roll.
A large beaker, 1 crucible, fire aludels, and a small athanor. I have all of that and more, although it may be a bit dusty. Tell Greta she's welcome to them too. They are hers after all.
You blink at her.
How did you...
What? The only person who asks for these is Greta herself. Don't worry, I'm her friend. But now I know she's hiding in Firecat Alley. I'll look out for her rainbow chimney and stop by with some tea bags later. Say hi to her for me.
Gloria winks. You haul the box into Greta's house on your ride. The crate barely fits through the entrance. Put it down in the gap I made. A large area where books had originally been is clear of all the debris. One of the shelves is crammed with books standing on their spines like they're meant to. Greta uses her broom to sweep around. How'd it go? You got everything on the list? Gloria says hello. She shakes her head while smiling. She'll probably ask for some tea later. She always said I'm the best brewer. Let's get this done. I'll show you how to set up an alchemy table. You set down the 3 corked bottles, some scrolls with recipes, different colored vials held on a wooden perch, a plate, a measuring cup, a large beaker, and 5 aludels, whatever those are. My old equipment is good enough for an amateur like you to perform the transmutation. Go on, just place the Herkimer stone on the crucible.
The plate?
Yes. Greta instructs you on a few more steps. There are some spills, but in the end you have a fizzing, opaque, black potion. There we are. Now let me check your work. She pulls a pair of reading glasses out of her skirt pocket. You're good at measuring, but you need practice on your hand-eye coordination. Here's the last step. Hold the Herkimer stone over the vial so Bastilla's whale flows into the reverse solution, then give it to me. You flip over the Herkimer recorder and carefully position the lid above the bubbly potion. You're precise, remembering how it exploded with electricity earlier. Bastilla's whale shoots into the liquid, causing it to ripple. All you hear is a muffled note of the opera she sang to you. Great. Greta puts a cork in it. Finally, the last part of the plan. The curative intonation potion will work similarly to the initial curse. Break this vial at an influential fire elf's feet. He'll repeat the antidote song and be cured. Then, if he sings the same line to the other fire elves, their chorus will spread like wildfire, and the curse will be lifted. Give it to Alacane Swiftarrow. He's the famous fire elf on the alley. He'll cure his people. I'd imagine that even with his curse, he's still on stage rehearsing in the Fireglobe Theater. Now go give Alacane a good thwacking. She playfully swats at you with her broom.
Hey, I'm going.
The theater echoes a new chant you haven't heard yet.
Fire for fiddle, break down the gate. Fire for fiddle, this is the dead's fate.
The room is large and has many benches.
each lower than the other. The stage at the back has cardboard cutouts of fire cats and ripped costumes consisting of cat ears and balls of wool made to mimic fire. There's an empty circle at the bottom, most likely for an orchestra or choir. That's where Alakane is, with a hand on his chest, belting his lines over and over.
Fire for fiddle, the black cat pounces, but I, the fire cat's leader, shall send her back to the alley she came from.
You run down the steps, your pet Sleepbat right behind you. He spots you and his lines change.
The greatest magicians have something to learn. Wizard City must burn.
He draws the beginning of an ice spell. You aim to stop him by stunning him. Sprinting down the steps and casting a spell don't mix well and you fizzle. The cold snowflake symbol evaporates. He summons a wall of ice around his arm, an ice shield. Your chilled bat charges for him, wings a spaz. He blasts the shield with a cold icy breath. Shards of frozen crystals shatter the shield. He pulls his bow off his shoulder and an arrow off his back. His wide, circular eyes target you. His hopping stops, and he releases an arrow while repeating,
Fire for fiddle!
The arrow lights mid-flight and pierces your wand-wielding arm. You shriek in pain and pat your robes, keeping them from lighting a flame. You pass your wand to the other hand and hold it steady. You solely focus on tracing out your next spell. The snowflake glistens and drips from the ends. A blue serpent emerges, slithering out of the holes in your symbol, using your body as a ladder to the ground. The chilled hand-sized scales make you shiver as it snakes down your arm and back. The snow serpent coils in front of Alakane, sharp icicles form along the back in rings. He bares his fangs and the cold icicle fangs point out. Alakane giggles and chants.
I repeat and repeat, fire for fiddle, so you will retreat.
His words summon a fire spell. The symbol lights up the room and cracks like a campfire. A snake like your own spills out of the flames. The belly is burned and cracked. The top has scales that move and melt like magma. The eyes and fangs of the snake are rubies. The two reptiles snap at each other. Your snow serpent wraps around the other. The ice scales steam against the molten rock. The flame snake hisses and shakes, too cold to defend itself. Smoke escapes its mouth and the hot serpent cools to stone. While Alakane is distracted by the entangled reptiles, you trace another ice spell. The ground fills with snow and a chunk of soft frost pops up off the ground. A frost beetle digs out of the ground with its 4 icicle pincers. You hand the beetle the vial of the curative intonation potion. The big bug holds him between its small set of pincers. The icy beetle charges at Alakane and pushes the vial against his body. Glass shatters and the insect explodes into snow. The only sound is of your snow serpent, tightening around the stiff, solid rock. There's a cough and a wheeze. Alakane sits up in the snow and says,
Lo, the dark resonance hath been driven from my brain by the hand of this gentle wizard. I am again stark raving sane. How can I ever repay you?
He blinks and his maddened eyes soften. By the way he's talking, he sounds as if he's still cursed, but you assume that that's just how he speaks.
If you repeat the line about being cursed by Bastilla, your friends will repeat it and also be freed. Spread the antidote for me and your debt will be paid. I can deliver my people from the grip of this dreadful banshee's curse. But how? I am only an actor. I read lines. I don't take action. Just sing it in the streets then. The cure and my voice hath entwined? Then accept the role of hero I must. I shall deliver a traveling performance for the ages. To the streets!
He skips up the steps. You follow him out of the theater. Greta is tapping her long, sharp nails on the wooden table. Well, did it work? Finally! This whole ordeal has given me an epiphany. I don't miss working with students as much as I'd previously thought.
The chaos in the classroom is not something I handle well. I hate worrying about my students. Speaking of, I need my pupil back. Anna Flamewright is the only student who's competent enough to really learn and understand alchemy.
Hey!
You cross your arms. Don't pretend like you perfectly poured the crocodile saliva. Do you know how hard it is to get spit from a mummy? And I know you weren't listening when I gave you instructions. You were staring at the floor. Now leave before I kick you out. And tell Anna she better have those sprite wings. She continues to grumble under her breath. I can't believe the audacity of these. You reach for the door. Oh, one last thing. Omit my name from the city guards when you give him a report. I'd appreciate it. Now, run along. She waves you away. You ride along the street. Alakin's voice can be heard on the other side of the neighborhood.
Come, fellow fire elves.
Elves put down their bows and rub their eyes. Some add a chorus behind Alakin like a fiery parade, slowly building up.
Bastilla's curse is no more. Throw your fire for fiddles at the door.
There's a student chatting with the elves, another fire wizard. He's wearing a white cape and a fire pattern borders all his robes. He wanders over.
What's going on? I know I'm late, but I came here to help.
The beat-up guard with the injured Grackle runs over.
Great balls of fire! You're alive. Don't slip by me again, Alan Ghost Dust. I assumed. Well, I'm glad neither of you are cursed. Did you find Elizabeth Firespitter? Yep, she's gone back to Falmea, and Alakane is cursing the Fire Elves' madness as we speak. That's what all that singing is. You should tell Sergeant Muldoon. I don't want to send my Grackle. I need to get her to Sensei Wu, stat. Thanks, wizard. If it weren't for you, I would be toast. It's good to see the elves as themselves again, even if they are a bit annoying.
He shakes your hand, then goes back to his spot. Alan's violet eyes sparkle.
Wow, that's cool. Wish I could have helped. What are you going to do now that the street is fixed? The street's not entirely fixed.
You scratch the back of your head.
There's still guards pushing undead out at Dark Cave's entrance. I'm searching for Anna Flamewright first. I've got a feeling she's hiding in the street somewhere. Oh, I think I saw Anna. She has hair that points to the sides and a sun on her chest, right?
Alan bounces in place. You squint and purse your lips.
I think so. I've only met her once. Well, I saw her hide in Mistress Falmea's house. She lives on this street? Yeah, I'll point it out on your map. I can go with you.
He circles one of the buildings. It's on the other side of the neighborhood. Just another clone of the houses. No wonder you didn't see it.
I'll be fine on my own. Oh, I know. I'll let the guards know that Dark Caves' entrance needs help now that they can leave Firecat Alley. Good idea.
You and Alan take a teleporter to the entrance, then split up. You ride down the neighborhood and enter the tower. Mistress Falmea's home is hot and steamy. There's a grand fireplace taking up an entire wall. The bricks have small tiles dispersed between them with the fire school's symbol. The couch surrounding the brick is tall, and one of the pillows has an ice symbol on it. The chandelier above is sharp and abstract, resembling the tips of a large flame. The spiral staircase in the back is guarded by tiled railing. The cubed tiles are different shades of red to yellows and seem to be placed randomly. A curled hat pokes up from the staircase. Hello?
Anna, Greta's getting worried about you.
Worried? Professor Darkkettle's never concerned about me. Anna moves into the open. Her navy blue hair looks shiny in the flickering light of the fireplace. Oh, you're the student I saw before you rescued Whiskers from old Judd. Did you fix the neighborhood too? Wow, you must be very busy.
You as well. You seem to be running a lot of errands for Greta.
You notice how much taller Anna is compared to you. She's gotta be a few years older as well. She lightly chuckles. Yeah, she refuses to leave the house. She says she's hiding, but everyone knows there's a witch on Firecat Alley.
Well, I wish you luck on becoming an alchemist. She was grumpy because I spilled some stupid ingredient, even though it was my first time.
Yeah, she was like that with me too. Thanks for searching for me. I'll head over there now. Hopefully she's not upset about how long I've been gone. Muldoon has a scroll unfurled in front of him. He's talking to a sharp-eyed student in a lime-yellow hood.
Is this permission from Professor Drake? Alright, fine. You may pass.
He lets the student through to one of the gates as you approach.
Hello again. Does the smell of brimstone and burnt hair mean you've resolved Firecat Alley?
You inform him, like you did with everyone else, that the street is resolving itself now, but Dark Cave is still a problem.
That's great. We're not out of the woods yet, but with what you've done, we're making headway. So, the skeletal warriors are working together to break into Firecat Alley, and all my men are pushing them back as we speak?
You nod your head.
Yep. My privates and soldiers won't last long. How will we get an army of undead skeletons to stand down?
You hear a familiar clicking sound. Gloria Crendel, who is knitting in front of her house across from the bazaar, shuffles over with her cane.
Did you say skeletal warriors, Sergeant Muldoon?
Yes, ma'am.
I know how to stop them.
She presses her lips together, flattening a few wrinkles on her chin.
Sergeant Skullsplitter.
But isn't he in Dark Cave, ma'am? What does he have to do with—
He's in charge of the warriors. Didn't Ambrose tell you about the army Malistaire made before he sealed them in Dark Cave?
She turns to you.
Hello again, young'un. Sergeant Skullsplitter's probably hiding in Ravenwood somewhere.
How do you know?
Muldoon wrinkles his nose.
Because I was one of Sylvia's closest friends.
She puts out her closed hand and gives you a bookmark. It has a matching life symbol to the one on her apron.
Sylvia is Malistaire's wife. She taught life magic. I sure miss her. What happened to her was such a shame, poor dear.
Sylvia, Malistaire, Skullsplitter? There are a lot of names to remember. Malistaire has a wife?
Gloria raises an eyebrow.
He sure does. She was the life professor before Melinda Wu.
This is the third ex-teacher, not mentioned by anyone who actually works in Ravenwood. How many ex-teachers are there?
Gloria's bun bobs with her head as she recalls something.
After Sylvia died, Malistaire was tearing their house apart. I went there to retrieve Sylvia's scrapbook before Malistaire ripped that up too, but it wasn't there. The only other person who would have taken it would be Sergeant Skullsplitter. Him and Malistaire went way back. Sylvia talked about them a lot. This bookmark goes with the scrapbook.
She weakly smiles and runs her hand along the embroidered pocket.
She was so crafty. It would mean a lot to me to have that scrapbook. I will take good care of it until Malistaire wants it back. If you convince him, Sergeant Skullsplitter will tell his army to stop invading Firecat Alley. He's probably searching for Malistaire right now.
You teleport back home and leave your dorm room. Students are bustling in and out of classrooms. Mr. Weathersfield is holding a lesson on the grass in front of Bartleby, and none of the school's trees' leaves are tousled. Nothing seems awry in Ravenwood. You walk around the grounds and hear a crash in the life tower. You press against the door, opening it enough to fit your fingers through.
The death school is gone. Where is he? Why is this cow here?
Through the crack in the door, you can see a skeleton in a brown hood throwing papers in the air. Melinda Wu's desk is on its side.
Where's Sylvia's stuff? There must be a clue to his whereabouts somewhere in here. Why would they replace her?
You open the door more to get a better peek, but the old hinges squeak. His upper body spins around.
Who's there?
Skullsplitter's lower jaw is missing. You have no clue how he's speaking.
Your army is invading Firecat Alley. I know that. Are you here to stop me? I'm here to get back Sylvia's scrapbook and to have you call off your army.
His bone brow narrows.
What do you know about Sylvia? Where is she? Where's the death school? She's dead. No one knows where Malistaire or the death school are.
You grip your wand and plant your feet. Skullsplitter's tone is hostile.
You're lying. Malistaire wouldn't leave Wizard City defenseless.
He stretches out his gloved hand with an armor plating around the wrist and casts a death trap. You trip on the spell and fizzle what you planned on casting.
If Malistaire hadn't sealed me and my army away, we could have protected Sylvia.
It's clear he didn't know she was dead. He throws out another spell. The wooden floorboards splinter apart and 2 rotting hands climb out of the new hole. A ghoul comes right for you, shovel raised. You roll away, narrowly missing the shovel's sharp edge. Skullsplitter's hostility has made you nervous. You whip out a treasure card the fairies gifted to you and cast a life spell. A beam of light blasts from your wand like a flashlight. Leaves fall through the cracks of the wooden beams in the ceiling. Lady Oriole teleports into your wand light in a burst of sparkles. Her dress shimmers in the light as she rolls her eyes. She brushes her perfect hair behind her shoulder and raises her sword to the ceiling. She swiftly slices the ghoul in half. His upper body desperately claws back to the hole he made in the floor. Lady Oriole swoops down, her sword drags across the floorboards behind her, then cleanly whacks off the ghoul's head. In the same swoop, she aims the sword at Skullsplitter and chops off his legs. She takes off the top of his hood with one last swing. She twists her hips in your direction and rests the now grimy blade on her shoulder. Of course my fairies gave you my card. Don't summon me again. In the blink of an eye, she's gone. Skullsplitter gawks at his lifeless femur bones in defeat.
Why do you want Sylvia's scrapbook? You didn't even know her. Gloria Crendel asked me to receive it from you. She's going to take care of it.
He tilts his head and sighs.
Well, I can't protect it anymore, so you might as well take it from me.
He pulls the scrapbook out from behind Melinda Wu's flipped desk. He holds the leather-bound pages, his finger bones press into the leather as he studies the cover. You shake your head, feeling bad for the sergeant.
I won't take it from you. You should give it to her. But I tried to kill you. I need you to call off your skeletal warriors anyway.
You whistle and call your ride to you. A broom zips in, sparkles whir out of the bristles. You help what's left of Skullsplitter onto the broom and walk him to Old Town. As you bring the death boss through Wizard City, he talks in a low, solemn tone.
Malastair and I go way back. I've only ever known him in my afterlife, but he was kind and understanding. He extended a hand to me when everyone else would retreat in fear. After becoming good friends, he decided to amass an undead army to protect Wizard City if need be. He appointed me the sergeant. I never asked him to do that. Then, one day, Merle and him were arguing. They didn't like how I ran the warriors. Said I was too ruthless. That I was protecting the people from threats that weren't threats at all. The Cyclops have always looked shifty, though. We were replaced with living human guards. Then I heard rumors that they were going to lock us away in Dark Cave. I took this scrapbook in hopes that Sylvia or someone else would come looking for it, but no one did.
I did, but I couldn't find it. Gloria puts a hand on Skullsplitter's armored shoulder. She gives him a warm smile. I didn't realize how worse for wear you were. I'm glad Talon convinced you to help us. He allows her to take the book. His arms fall off, clattering to the ground.
Keep our memories alive,
he whispers.
Quickly, wizard! Bring him into Firecat Alley before he falls apart.
Sergeant Muldoon points down the hill. Sergeant Skullsplitter scoots down the broom as best he can. You sit on the edge. He wraps his remaining ungloved hand around your shoulder. You zip through Firecat Alley and find all 10 guards pulling back from Dark Cave's tunnel. Their armor is scratched and one of the shields has been cut in 2. Skullsplitter shouts.
Men!
He raises his last limb into the air.
Stand down! We were meant to protect Wizard City, not invade it.
One of the warriors shouts back.
They locked us in Dark Cave for years. We deserve justice. Freedom! No!
Barks Skullsplitter.
If you fight your way through, you'll end up like me. Leave the people alone. Disperse this army and make yourselves a new undead life peacefully in Firecat Alley and Dark Cave. That's in order.
The skeletons mumble and shrug. One scratches the top of his helmet. They slowly scatter. Some go retreat back. Others pool slowly into Firecat Alley as the guards back off and cautiously lower their shields. Skullsplitter's men are uncoordinated and lost. Skullsplitter coughs and wraps his arm around his empty rib cage.
You rush him over. He's falling apart on the broom. He's left a trail of bones in his wake. I never got to properly meet you, Sergeant. Gloria nods to him.
That's all right. I've had a good afterlife.
I'm so glad this scrapbook isn't lost forever. It contains so many wonderful memories of Sylvia.
She skims through the book.
How did you know her? How did she die?
We've sewn and knitted together for a long time. I taught her how.
Gloria's smile quickly fades.
As to how she died, she got sick, caught a nasty cold and wouldn't get better. Malastair tried everything to heal her, but nothing worked.
Ironic. The greatest life professor unable to heal her own illness.
Yes, she was dying and that was that. Poor Malastair couldn't stand it. It broke his heart having to let her go. I'd imagine he isn't the same anymore. No one knows what he's been doing since he withdrew from his colleagues, even from his own brother.
Brother? Yes, Cyrus Drake. The three of them ran a large portion of the school. They have many great achievements.
Oh yes, Cyrus created and discovered new myths and legends. Malastair protected Wizard City again and again, and Sylvia helped Grandfather Tree and his children. Thank you for returning the scrapbook, Skullsplitter.
She helps his brittle bones off the broom and places him in the grass. All that's left of Skullsplitter is his ribcage, arm, and jawless skull.
No, thank you, Gloria. I had forgotten how much I respected Malastair.
He turns to you. One of his eyes is gone as he continues to wither away.
If you find Malastair, please bring some sense into him. He's just a grieving man, as I am over the loss of truly great friends.
With his last breath, he pulls a photograph out of his hood. His skull rolls off his head before he can hand it to you. You pry the photo out of his pinched fingers. There he is, Skullsplitter, standing beside a tall, dark man with a long, droopy mustache with a small smirk in the corner of his mouth. Skullsplitter had a bottom jaw in the photo, and a second matching glove.
I'll add it to the scrapbook. Poor Sergeant Skullsplitter.
She slips the photo into a blank page.
Thank you, young'un. I couldn't have done this without you.
I don't mean to interrupt this moment, but even with the warriors dispersed, I have 2 more streets that still need help.
Gloria wags a finger at the sergeant.
Don't rush them. They just witnessed a death, Sergeant.
You stare at the mound of armor and bones. Not all hostile enemies are evil. Alakane wasn't. Skullsplitter wasn't. These streets have a complicated past. How will you know whether an enemy is truly evil next time?
Don't worry, dear. I'll make sure Sergeant Skullsplitter gets a grave that marks his accomplishments. Maybe a monument.
Gloria Crendel flips his skull over so his empty eye sockets are facing the ground at rest. You nod your head but hesitate to return to your quests, still watching his bones as if they were going to assemble themselves and stand back up. Thanks for watching this far. The male presenting voices in the video are done by Pacnake. That's pancake with the N and C swapped. I hope you'll look forward to Triton Avenue in the next video.